On this episode of the podcast, we are talking about blogging, influencer marketing, social media, and High School Musical. After graduating college or high school, our first instinct is to look for work. What if I told you instead of applying for a job, you can create one? I went out and met with inspiring and motivating individuals who are breaking these boundaries and turning their everyday passions and hobbies into a source of income. My name is MJ Vallejo, and you're listening to the Creative Crucible podcast. Check. Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I released a episode, but I am so excited to have this guest on for you. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, you probably know who this is because it's not exactly a surprise. I'm not going to make her do some kind of dramatic intro of walking in and stuff like that. But without further ado, because I think that's a thing to say without further ado when you introduce someone, Katelyn Aberin, or is it Charmaine?
Sure, Charmaine. We can go Katelyn Charmaine, yeah.
Aberin Reyes.
Yes.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
I just want to start off by asking you this pretty dramatic question. If you could give up appetizers or desserts for the rest of your life, which one would you give up?
I think I would give up appetizers because I'm one of those people who can eat and get really full, and then at the end I'm like, oh, let's get dessert, even though I have no room for it. So I think I would give up appetizers. But then you know how breadsticks at Olive Garden is an appetizer? It's my favorite appetizer, so I don't know.
Do you get the dipping sauce with the appetizer, with the breadsticks?
There's a dipping sauce
at
Olive Garden?
What? Okay, so if you do get breadsticks, which I don't know if their policy on breadsticks is still unlimited.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, but so what I would do is I would order Alfredo sauce on the side because you can do that, and then you can dip the freaking breads into that Alfredo.
No way! They have an appetizer now that's like a pita pocket, and inside is chicken Alfredo, and they give you Alfredo sauce and marinara sauce as dipping sauce. Okay. So we've been getting that.
Well, pita pocket sounds like a fancy name for calzone.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Pretty much a calzone.
Or a stromboli? Yeah. Do you know what a stromboli is?
It's shaped like a triangle. So dude, I don't know. Is that a calzone?
Dude, that's a calzone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, same thing. Pita pocket, calzone.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, pita pocket. That sounds like a few fancy marketing words to me, if you ask me.
I honestly don't know what it's called on the menu, but I know that we've gotten it a couple times.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, for anybody listening, can you kind of give us an idea of what you do exactly?
What I do in real life as my job, or what I do?
Yeah, well, I want to know what your aspirations are, or what you do now, or what you want to do.
Okay, right now I'm going to school for dental hygiene, so I want to become a dental hygienist. So that's what I'm going to school for at the moment. It's my last quarter, so I can apply soon, next year in a couple months. But I also run a blog that's based on travel, lifestyle, fashion. So those are my two outlets right now.
So with the blog, when did you start that?
I started that in April of last year. So it's been a year and a half. Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you start it though? So it's about travel, lifestyle, and fashion.
Yeah.
And fashion. Okay. What would you say is the majority of the posts you see on there?
Fashion. At least, well, I kind of run my Instagram like a blog. You know how people have a blog page and then they run their Instagram the same kind of way? I do have a main blog and then I have my Instagram page, but mostly it's been about fashion. I originally started it as a travel kind of blog because I wanted to post tips and travel guides for people who do enjoy travel, but mostly it's just been about fashion.
Oh, but a lot of people say that Instagram is just like a photo social or platform. But yeah, I think that Instagram could be a blog platform too, because I don't think there's any kind of limitations on how much text you could put per post anyways.
I don't think so
either.
Yeah,
and I think as long as there's as long as you have good context of what the photo is about and stuff like that, in paragraphs, because I think when it comes to blogging, it has to be your caption has to be valuable, right?
Right, right.
And it has to have like a point to it. Like you can't just post a photo like of you at the beach and you just say sun's out, buns out, like because there has to be context under it, and that's
Right.
what blogging is, right?
Right.
Yeah, so same thing when it comes with a lot of other creatives out there, like photographers or even like filmmakers or even graphic designers. I personally believe that Instagram could be a portfolio
I think
platform
so too.
as well.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people tell their stories through their captions. So sometimes like people will post pictures of random things, not necessarily pertaining to the caption, but then they'll go and make a long post about, how they're feeling that day or what they learned that day. And I think sometimes we can graze over the picture and read the caption, and that's what gets you engaged into the profile. At least for me.
How long have you been into fashion?
I don't know. Honestly, it started because I was really into makeup. And because I was into makeup, I kind of had to change my style when I started working as a makeup artist. So I had to dress more like mature and like have these different styles. So I think that's when I really started to transition into how I dress now. I mean, right now I'm wearing a denim jacket and jeans. But I mean, everything else came from when I started doing makeup.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, but when you did makeup, was that before or after high school?
That was after high school.
Oh, okay, so you started doing makeup. Wait, hold on. Didn't we used to work together in
Oh my God.
I just remembered that. Wait,
At Tommy Hilfiger?
Is that correct?
Yes.
You did. Okay.
Oh my God. I totally forgot that you worked there.
Yeah, I know. Other than the podcast, I'm pretty much invisible to the world. So
No, like I totally forgot. I know Mazzy worked there, but I didn't know that you worked there.
yeah, so
Or like I feel like we didn't have a lot of shifts together.
no, I was yeah, no, but yeah, I mean I was getting paid, so I think I worked there.
Okay.
I think I just showed up and then there was magically a direct deposit. So
Yes, I mean Tommy Hilfiger did not inspire my fashion at all. That was not where it came from.
what? I mean, well, how would you describe your fashion then?
I think now I was anticipating this question coming into this podcast, but I still don't know how to answer it. I think right now my fashion is more like girly, and I've had people say it's like romantic, but I don't know what that means. So girly but casual, if that makes sense. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, what kind of boutiques or stores would best describe your fashion sense?
I like shopping at places like Windsor or Charlotte
That's a
Russe.
dress store, right? Windsor?
Yeah, they have like prom dresses and stuff, but I mean, I don't wear prom dresses every day.
Why not?
Because that's not my style.
Dude, that would be freaking sick if you did.
I can't do that. I told you I wear scrubs every day, and I'm just enjoying the chill, laid back, not having to wear high heels every day.
Well, exactly. So, when people say you work hard, play hard?
Yes.
So, scrubs, dress super casual
Yes.
at work, but you play like you're going to prom.
Like when I go to Target, just wear a huge ball gown.
Yeah, exactly, like a nightgown with the sequins.
Oh, okay. I'll try that next time, and I'll let you know how it goes. We'll run a social experiment and post it on YouTube.
Exactly. It's going to look like a total prank.
Yeah, I know.
So a majority of the posts I see on your Instagram, because I be lurking, respectfully lurking, it does seem like the reason why I wanted you on the show is because, well, obviously I like your fashion sense,
Thank you.
but it's like it doesn't seem like you're posting photos where like you're in like these freaking Balenciagas or like YSL, but
Well, that's because I can't afford it. So that's why.
Okay. Well, how I took it was the thing is like, it almost seems like, well, you go shopping and you kind of just like piece together of what looks good. And I think that it sends a really powerful message to your audience where it's like, you don't got to go to Santana Row and freaking.
Honestly, yeah. Like a lot of the clothes that I have are thrifted, but they'll come from places like Brandy Melville or like Charlotte Russe or Forever 21, whatever. So I try to put together what's my style. Like I don't want to be the fashion blogger that's wearing all these high brands and people are like, well, I can't afford that, so I can't, necessarily shop where she shops. So I kind of want to make it relatable where people can be like, oh, okay, there's a Target next to me, so let me go buy that jacket that she's wearing at Target. So that's my kind of take on it.
What's your goal with your fashion blog? Even like with your Instagram handle, is there a particular goal that you have with it?
At the moment, not necessarily. I think the main goal for me starting a fashion blog was to kind of just inspire people. I know that I'm inspired by other fashion bloggers, and I kind of not base my style around them, but I transition into different styles of fashion because of what I see on the internet. So if I see someone who not necessarily looks like me, but is my same body type and can wear something that I don't normally wear, then I try to look for a piece like that and see if I can style it myself. And I think that's what I kind of want to do with my fashion blog.
Okay. Okay. Do you travel do you just have like a tripod everywhere you go?
We do. Me and my boyfriend take our own pictures because what we have found is that whenever anyone takes it for us, it doesn't come out the way that we want. So,
oh my gosh.
Secret. That's the secret, everybody.
Oh yeah, no, it's the same thing with me. Like, sometimes I'll go hang out with people and stuff, and I'll have my camera out. I'll be taking some photos and videos and things like that. And then people are like, "Oh, MJ, dude, you've been taking photos of us all day. Let me take a photo of you." No, it's okay. It's like, and they'll take it the wrong way because they're like, "Oh, you think I'm not gonna drop your camera." It's not the camera.
It's the way you take the picture.
Like, dude, like I don't want to.
Dude, yes, I feel it because like me and my boyfriend will like go to the fair or something, and like if we see people who are struggling to take a picture, we usually offer like, "Oh, do you want us to take a picture of you?" Because we know what it's like to like want to get a nice picture and can't get it. And so when we ask them in return, like, "Hey, can you take a picture for us?" It is never like as good as we want it. And that's not to sound like snooty or anything, but it's just like that's not how we want it to look, you know? Like it's not the composition or whatever. So that's why we have a tripod and we can take our time and not have to feel like we're, using someone else's time to take our picture.
Do you guys offer to take people's photos everywhere you go?
Not everywhere, but like if we're in Disneyland and there's like a couple trying to get a picture by the Ferris wheel and it's like a selfie and I'm like, oh, that's not like the best angle. Like I'll offer like, oh, do you want us to take a picture for you? And it's weird because sometimes people really say no. They're like, oh, no, it's fine. And they keep struggling to take a photo. And I'm like, I don't know if I should take this the wrong way but yeah, we've had people turn us down to take pics, and I'm like, okay, that's fine as long as we offer.
It's because you guys look sketch.
Why?
You guys look sketch? Mad sketch because it looks like you guys are gonna freaking
like run away with their phone.
Run away with the phone. No, you're gonna ruin their Disneyland experience.
That's funny that you say that because there was one time that Devin and I were at a bar and some girl was like
shout out to
sitting
Devin,
next to
by the
us.
way. Oh,
Devin's
sorry.
my amazing boyfriend. Yes. And we were at a bar and then this girl is like looking at us and she's like, "You guys don't look like the type to roofie my drink, so I'll leave my drink with you while I go to the bathroom." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." So I don't think we look that sketchy.
Yeah. I mean, what about when you guys you guys went to France?
We did.
Is it a Euro trip?
Europe. Yeah, we went to London and then we went to Italy and then we went to Paris.
London, Italy, and Paris. What was your favorite country to visit out of those three? Italy?
Like this back here with all the ivy in the wood, that's exactly what Italy looks like.
This is where we ordered it from.
Oh, wow. It's authentic.
No, we didn't get it from there.
No, but Italy was super pretty. And I think the best part about Italy was the food. Like everything is super authentic. And they make it in-house. So like the pasta is made in-house. The pizza is made in-house. And like, you know how pizzas here, like the medium size is like $13?
Yeah.
That's the standard size of a pizza in Italy. And it's $5. So and it's super fresh. Like the basil tomato sauce is amazing. So
did you try the gabagool?
No, what is that?
You don't know what the gabagool is?
I
Okay.
don't.
It's salami.
Oh.
So, I know, but I wanted to say it because this week in particular, I've been watching a lot of Sopranos, and I am like that. That's why I'm so glad you said Italy was your favorite out of those three because I was like, oh man, I want to say gabagool.
But is that like a certain type of salami? Because they have like duck salami, pork salami, regular salami. I don't know. What's that?
So from what I understand from the show Sopranos. Oh my gosh, I love that show. I love that show so much. Gabagool is like just their slang for salami.
Oh,
so it's just like an overall term. So it's not an actual like word. So they're like, hey, where's the gabagool?
Oh, okay.
So
okay, I'm gonna have to look that up, huh?
Yeah. So
Interesting.
But then how did you guys even get around? Did you rent a car?
No. So in Europe, they have really good transportation systems. So like the bus is like $1.50, or like in London, the subway is kind of like BART here. So it's really easy to use over there. You just like preload a card and then you go, and it's like 50 cents for one stop. So it's not that bad. But because you mentioned that, I'm going to mention this. We got a citation in Rome for being on the bus and not scanning our bus ticket.
What?
So we paid, it was like 150, like €1.50 for a bus ticket, and we had fallen asleep on the bus. But before that, we had gotten onto the bus, and there's like this QR code scanner. And you're supposed to scan your ticket, but when we did it, it didn't work. So we were like, okay, whatever. The lady in front of us, it didn't work either. So we fell asleep on the bus, and the next thing you know, I wake up, and there's like these bus people, like the VTA people, and they're like, let me see your ticket. And we're like, okay. So we give them the ticket, and they're like, well, it's not time-stamped, so we're going to give you a fee of $100.
What? $100?
I was like, what? For a $1.50 bus ticket? But they were like, if you pay it now, it's only €60. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I told you. I bet they didn't even work for the transit system over
Dude,
there.
no, they did. And like their whole management was there when we got off. And I was like, dude,
What?
it's not that serious. And like, obviously they spoke Italian and we didn't. And so Devin was like trying to translate on Google Translate and like talk to them. But they're like not having it. And they're like, you're going to pay the fee. And I was like, oh, sweet.
Dude, it almost sounds like they baited you.
I know, they kind of did. Like, we were trying to explain to them, like, we're not from here. We don't really know what's happening. And we tried to explain, like, oh, it wasn't working. And then they showed us that you put the ticket inside the back of the QR code scanner, which, like, you can't see from the front. And the bus driver didn't even say anything to us. So we were just like, okay, whatever. We'll take the L.
Oh, see, they should have. That's the bus driver's fault then. I blame the bus rider.
I know, me too. The bus driver didn't say anything to us.
You should have been, you put the ticket. The gabagool and the ticket and all that.
Yes. Oh my God. Just so if you go to Rome, make sure you stamp your bus tickets.
But did you take a bus from England to Paris to Rome?
We actually flew. So from London, we flew into Italy. And then from Italy, we bused to... Okay, so we were on the coast of Italy, and then we bused to Rome. From Rome, we flew to Paris.
Oh.
So we took like the really small like European airlines there.
So it was like a little propeller plane, and then you just...
I mean, not like a propeller plane, but like small airline.
I mean, dude, fashion over there, that has to be something else, right? So I used to work at Zara.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was just in all of their cuts, I could fit into an XL shirt from Zara because of its Euro cut or whatever. But like, did you check out any of the fashion districts when you're out there in any of those?
We did. I personally didn't buy anything, but we went to we checked out like Supreme and like the Bape store over there. They have this one mall where they have all the like high-end fashion outlets. And fashion over there is very different. I feel like fashion over there is like something that you see on Tumblr, like those hipsters from like England that'll be on Tumblr posting their whole outfits. But yeah, the fashion there is very different. I've noticed that a lot of people wear like really long clothing, like long oversized clothing. And that's kind of like the sense of style.
In England?
Yes, in England. In London.
So they just like baggy pants?
Like baggy pants and then like really big beanies and then like really oversized like polos. And I mean, I saw like a couple people wearing like that. And then I also saw people, a lot of the fashion over there, from what I noticed, is very colorful. Like when we went to the mall, there was like shoes with a lot of different colorways, like just everywhere. So I noticed that was a big difference compared to here, because I don't feel like we have that many colorways in shoes.
Yeah, I think the American trend right now is pastels. That seems to be a thing. Or something a little bit more dull, or even like earth tones and
like
things
neutrals.
like that. Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about anyways when it comes to fashion.
No, I feel the same. I feel like, especially like on the internet, there's a lot of like neutral fashion bloggers where they base their outfits on neutral colors. So they'll just wear like tan, beige, white, black, and gray, and that's it.
Yeah, actually, I haven't done like a load of white laundry in I want to say like maybe 3 months. All of my clothes are dark. Like I don't even wear white socks. I hate white socks.
I don't wear white socks either. They get dirty so fast. Like there's no point.
White socks is for dorks. No, I'm just kidding. I take that back. I'm gonna lose so many supporters. I'm gonna lose my one supporter because I said that. What did you wear? What did you wear when you were there?
Like in Europe, what did I wear? Okay, so here's the thing. I brought like a bunch of different outfits, but I fit everything in one carry-on for 3 weeks.
Did you bring a beret at least?
I did bring a beret.
Dude, I knew. See, I had a feeling because there's something European about berets. Like,
yes,
so you look
did.
like a myth buster. Do you remember that show?
But nobody in Paris wears berets. So like
What?
I definitely felt like a tourist because I feel like the only people wearing berets were tourists. I didn't see any local people wearing berets.
You're being stereotypical. Shame on you.
I was. It was very embarrassing now that I think about it because I was like, I feel like the local people kept looking at me and I'm like, oh my God, they're looking at me because I'm wearing a beret and that's not really fashion here. So
I thought it was.
That's what I thought too, but I didn't see a lot of people wearing berets. So maybe it's like a seasonal thing. We went in the summer, so I don't know if like you don't wear berets in the summer. Like if that's their beanie over there, I don't know. But nobody was wearing that.
I think we've been lied to. You know why? Because I remember in the animated movie Anastasia when they went to Paris, they wore berets.
Yes, and they're long. What are those called? Peacoats. Yes, they wore berets.
We've been lied to. That's false advertising.
That is false advertising.
See, I would have wore. I don't know if I would wear a beret when I was over there. Cause
do guys wear berets? They do, right?
So okay. Yeah, I guess. The only people I know that wear berets, when I think of a beret, it's either like I said, Mythbusters or mimes.
I was thinking the same thing right now. Yeah, I was like, I hope he says mimes.
Did you see any mimes in Paris?
No, there are no mimes in Paris. There's a lot of like scam artists in Paris, but there's no mimes.
Isn't that the same thing?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if mimes take your money. Like they took our money.
Whoa, a scam artist. That's actually a very big statement there. I think you got a story to share.
Okay, well, so my boyfriend and I were near the Eiffel Tower and we saw like this group of people and there was this guy who was doing like a magic trick. Have you seen those magic tricks where like they have 3 little cups and then they have a ball and then they move it around and you have to guess where the ball is?
Right.
So he was doing that and there was like a big group of people and so we were watching and then there were some people who were able to guess where the ball was, some people who didn't. But when we were watching, it was very easy to follow. And we're like, oh, the ball's right there. Like every time we would guess in our heads, like, oh, it's right there. And we would get it right. So my boyfriend decided to play. The buy-in was 100 euros, which is insane.
Whoa, wait.
That's a lot of money.
For a street game?
For a street game. So I like saying it out loud. It's like, why would you do that? But if you won, then you would double your money. So they would give you 100. They would give you your 100 plus another 100 back. So we're like, okay, since, we've been guessing correctly, we might as well play. And so he put in his 100 euros and he guessed where the ball was. But what we figured out later is when he gave the money to the guy, like took it out of his wallet and gave it to the guy, they switched the cup around. So he knew, like, let's say that the ball was in the middle, right? He was like, okay, I'm going to guess the middle, but let me give my money. And so he gave his money. And then while he was giving his money, the guy would switch the cups. So when he pointed to the middle cup, it was actually in the right cup. So essentially we got played, and then we found out from like local people that that's like a thing that they do there, is they always do this. And so the people that are playing in the circle are all in on it. So the ones that are winning, the ones that are losing, they're in on it, and they just bait tourists because they're like, oh, it's super easy, just play, whatever. And so all the people in the circle are all together working as scam artists, and they just divvy up the money. Isn't that crazy?
Why?
And then we left, right? And then we saw another group of people doing the same thing, but with the same group of people. And so we saw tourists go up and like want to play. And so I was trying to be like considerate and trying to tell them like, dude, don't do it. You're going to lose your money.
Vigilante?
And so I went up to them, and one of the guys who was in on it just kept staring at me, like hardcore staring at me and staring at Devin. And Devin was like, dude, don't do it. Like, what if they're part of the mafia? Like, you don't know how many people are in on it. You don't know who's in on it. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm not trying to, die out
they're
here.
a soprano.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. So it was interesting. No mimes, but definitely some scam artists.
Dude, wait, but did you guys end up playing?
We did, and we lost our money.
Oh my gosh. So you you lost 100 euros, and then you also lost 60 euros on the transit.
Yes, we did. And then we almost missed our flight to Italy. So we took a couple L's while we were over there.
Okay, well, I'm never traveling with both of y'all if in the rare case that ever happens.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I feel though like if you travel and nothing goes wrong, then it wasn't memorable enough. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a story to tell. Not necessarily all the time, but I feel like something has to go wrong. Not on that big scale of where you're losing almost $200, but
would you rather lose $400,
no,
or would you rather lose your luggage
oh my god,
from the plane?
oh my god, I hate this question. I hate this question. I think I would rather lose the money, because then that just means I won't eat over there. But I mean, like, okay, I think I say that because I had a tiny little glimpse of what it's like to lose some of my stuff, because flying into Europe or flying in between countries, you're only allowed to bring a quart-sized bag of liquids. And so I brought like all my makeup and all my skincare and all my shower stuff. And so it had to be condensed into a little quart-sized bag, and I didn't know that. And so I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff. So like a bunch of my skincare, a bunch of my makeup. And I was like, oh my God, like that's terrible. So essentially that was in my luggage. And I was like, I'd never want to feel that again. So I think I'd rather lose the money.
Yeah, see, losing luggage, that's like one of my biggest fears.
Dude, mine too.
It's never happened to me though. Oh, see, knocking on wood, that's what makes it happen. So now I'm going to blame you if that ever happens. No,
just knock on everything.
It's not knocking on wood. It's called rubbing ivy between your fingers.
Yeah,
now.
there you go. There you go. Now you just fixed it.
Yeah. So hey, I saw on your social media platform that you collabed with a brand. Haven't you?
Yes.
What brand was that?
I collabed with Charlotte Russe recently, which was a big one for me because that is my favorite brand ever. That's what like 90% of my closet is made out of. So
I feel like Charlotte Russe is cool because it seems to be cost effective.
Yes, it is. I don't know if it's considered fast fashion like Fashion Nova is, but it's very cost effective. The quality is great, and it's resourceful.
What's fast fashion? Is that like fast food?
To be honest, I am not sure. I know that. Okay. Nobody quote me on this because I could be completely wrong, but from what I've read like online and in different forums and articles, fast fashion is considered like it's cheap and the quality is cheap because it is made cheaply, quote unquote, which I don't know what that means. But instead of pricing things at a normal quote unquote price point of like $50 for a t-shirt, t-shirts are like $10. So I don't know essentially what is considered fast fashion. I know that Fashion Nova is a brand that's considered fast fashion, but I don't know if like Target would be considered fast fashion because their stuff's affordable. So I'm not 100% sure.
I think from what I understand, just from what you're telling me, I think fast fashion could probably be like, just like you said, but it's cost effective and it's like, because I feel like if I was into fashion and stuff like that, which as you can see, clearly not, I'm wearing sweats. I'm wearing sweats right now.
It's comfy.
Yeah.
It's comfy.
But it's almost like if you're, because fashion trend is constantly changing, right? And then if you're like someone like who is into the whole thing, then I mean, you don't want to wear that same top like 10 days in a row.
Right.
So then now if you have a brand like Fashion Nova that's fast fashion, then dude, you got 10 tops for the next like 10 days and stuff like that.
Right.
Under
at a good price.
$50.
Yes, and they always have sales. Like I've noticed that those boutiques online always have sales. So maybe that is why it's considered fast fashion.
Yeah. You know what? I'll admit to you this right now. Like I think women's fashion is super dope because I actually window shop online in women's stuff. Not for me. I would never I wouldn't ever wear women's clothing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with that. Not for me. But like so brands like have you heard of Poly?
Yes.
Dude, so there's these so there's Poly and then there's OOTD Fash.
Yes, I've heard of them
Yeah,
too.
and like I was like, dude, these brands are popping up, and they have like so dope like stuff. So then like I'd buy it, like I'd add it to my cart, and I'd literally buy it. But not for me.
Nice.
I'd buy it for Mazzy. So,
Oh, what a good boyfriend.
well, dude, I mean, you gotta flex on them one time.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Those brands are really cool. They always come out with a lot of stuff. They have a lot of drops all the time, and like I just feel like they don't ever sell out of everything because they make so much of it and it's so available to you.
Yeah. You know, the one thing I really respect about brands like Opali is they really, really know how to market their stuff, dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
like they're, because I have never seen like a Facebook or like a YouTube ad on Opali. It seems like they spend all of their money on influencer marketing.
Oh, totally.
Dude,
that's
right?
a big thing right now.
Hell
like,
yeah.
That I feel like, at least for me, a lot of the places that I shop now, the boutiques online, I've found because of influencers that I follow.
Yeah.
Like otherwise I would have never figured them out or found them online.
Yeah, it's like cuz well, who's like a one like influencer that you look up to?
I really like, her name's Michelle Infusino. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but she's from Southern California, and she introduced me to like Princess Polly, to like 12th Tribe, just all these different brands that I'd never heard of before. And her style is more like, I would say like girly and bohemian, so it's pretty interesting.
What does bohemian mean? What is that?
It's like Coachella. When I think of bohemian, I think of like Coachella. So like the fringe and like all the woven tops, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. You know, speaking of Coachella, dude, I thought Revolve was so smart to do their festival the same weekend. Right?
Dude, Revolve is a crazy fashion outlet right now.
Yeah.
Like they use influencer marketing like to their advantage.
Dude,
for sure.
yeah. So like when I was at Coachella earlier this year, I noticed that there was like like the explore page on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm on the explore page and then I see the photos and stuff like that, all of these influencers, they're like tagging Coachella, but they're also tagging Revolve,
Right.
Because they weren't actually at Coachella; they were at Revolve Festival.
Yes.
So I was like, dude, that is crazy.
Revolve is a really big company right now. Like what some girl I know is now a photographer at Revolve, and it's pretty dope to see Revolve grow like that. And a lot of the influencers I follow are always like #Revolve influencer, #Revolve around the world. So yeah, Revolve is doing it big right
Yeah,
now.
you know what's crazy? That brand is so big. They IPO'd. They're literally on Wall Street right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think it was a few months ago. So they like you could literally buy stocks for Revolve now.
That
like they're
is crazy.
Yeah, they're so big. They're a public company now.
That's a good thing to put stocks in, I think.
Yeah, because they're smart. Because look, a lot of people don't. Influencer marketing is so brand new, and a lot of people like to hate on it. Like, dude, it's like, why would you spend like tens of thousands of dollars on a commercial to broadcast on TV and nobody watches cable anymore?
Exactly. Nobody watches
Do
TV.
you?
They're streaming. No, I
Right.
I don't ever watch TV. I stream.
Yeah.
And so I think like it's smart to make like YouTube ads or like use influencers on Instagram because that's what everyone's doing is they're constantly checking Instagram. So I think influencer marketing is a big thing right now that a lot of people don't really understand. I know that a lot of people look down on it, but it's smart because those people are reaching hundreds of thousands of people that you wouldn't necessarily reach putting out a commercial TV ad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's like, because I know there's like a difference. I don't really know the details on it because like there's like micro influencers and macro influencers
Right.
and whatnot. But the thing is like if somebody has like even like 5,000 or 10,000 followers on Instagram and they're getting a lot of engagement, sometimes I feel like a lot of those influencers don't really know their true value because like they'll post like I don't know, maybe like tea or whatever, and then or like they're sponsored by like some kind of like undies company,
Right.
and they'll get paid for like $1,000. I'm like, dude, you guys should have charged so much more.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but there is this thing that influencers use to kind of like, well, they put it on their media kit. Have you heard of what a media kit is?
Media kit?
Yes, media kit is like a resume for influencers. So you
What? That's a thing?
yes.
Oh.
So when you like cold pitch to brands, or if a brand reaches out to you, you want to send them your media kit, and on your media kit is like a picture of you, and then your demographics, your analytics, like how many likes you get per post, how many comments you have, what your social media platforms are, and just like a description of your brand and what you do. So one main thing that companies look for is the engagement rate. So the engagement rate is calculated. There's like a social blue book that you can use, and it calculates how often you're engaging with people who comment on your posts, or how often you're getting comments or likes on your posts, or shares or bookmarks or whatever. So it'll give you a rate. And for people with like hundreds of thousands of followers, you want to have a 3% engagement rate. Like that's the goal. So when they see that, it shows how many people are really engaging with your posts. And based off of that, you can get an estimate of how much you should be charging for when you do brand campaigns.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that from?
The internet.
Media kits.
Yes. I
That's
didn't know that was a thing until maybe like 3 months ago.
Okay, so now I think influencers or even influencer marketing, I think it would be considered a creative field then.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's definitely a creative field
Yeah.
because photographers, even me, like I have kits like that,
Right.
not
like
media.
a portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost like because photographers and videographers, like we structure it very, very similar. So it's not just like the work, because I mean, I think if a company wants to collab with you, like did you say Charlotte Ruse?
Yes.
It's like Charlotte Ruse did with you. It's like they could see all your work, and they could see your Instagram
Right.
and your blog. But it's like, I think with something like a media kit, you can really expand on the true value of what it is.
Right.
Because, dude, I've seen profiles with like a million freaking followers.
Right.
And they're getting like 200 likes. I'm like, what the
Dude,
heck?
same. That's because they buy their followers.
Is that a
Let's
thing?
Be real. Yes, people
Oh.
buy their followers. But it's dumb. I think the most important thing, like if you're trying to run like some kind of influencer page, is like to have authentic engagement.
Yeah. So let's say I'm a 13-year-old girl.
Okay.
And man, I love seeing Katelyn's content, and I love her blog, and I'm such a big fan. I saw that she collaborated with Charlotte Ruse, and I was like, man, Katelyn, I wanna do that too. How would I go about doing that? How do we get to that point? How did you get to that point? Because I'm pretty sure it was not day and night. Like
Oh
overnight,
no, definitely not. Honestly, I was a bit surprised that I was able to land that collaboration. Because I don't have 100,000 followers. I barely have like 2,000 followers. So it wasn't something that I thought would come so soon, for me at least, to work with a big company like that. But something that I think is really important if you're trying to put yourself out there is to make good content. Like literally that's what it comes down to in any creative field, I think, is you can have the followers, you can have, whatever. But if you don't have the good content, then there's not that much, what's the word I'm looking for? Not much potential for a collaboration or for other brands to reach out for you, because that's kind of like their first impression of you. Is they go on your page, they see what you can create, and if it's not like up to par for them, then they're not going to reach out. So I think the most important thing, like I said, is creating good content that you're proud of, and not just putting it out there to be able to like tag a brand or to be able to like add a hashtag somewhere, but to make content that you're proud of, that that's a picture that I'm proud of taking, or that's an outfit I'm proud of putting together. And then also just having authentic engagement with people, just being able to talk to the people who follow you, and also not just your followers, but create like a community. The creative community online is amazing, I think. You can meet a lot of people, you can network. So I think it's important to find people who are in your niche and kind of just engage with them and create an authentic connection with them.
What would you consider good content?
Well, I know that from, seeing, so, okay, I've been in like Facebook groups for influencers and for fashion bloggers, and a lot of the times when people ask like, oh, tell me something about my profile, like what can I do to make it better, a lot of the critique is like, well, your lighting is bad, or your pictures aren't composed well and you're just standing in front of, you know, a white wall. So I think good content for me personally, one, the picture has to be clear. I've seen fashion influencers post pictures that aren't very clear and are blurry, and I'm like, what are you doing? I think it's also important, well, not important, but something that I've noticed that helps a lot is if your feed is cohesive. So if you're posting like really bright colors next to like really dull colors, it makes your feed look everywhere. So what I've noticed too is that brands really look for that cohesiveness, especially because if you go on a brand's page, they have a certain aesthetic to their page. So they're trying to find people who can fit that aesthetic. So if you have an aesthetic for yourself where all your pictures are pretty much cohesive, it looks better for, you know, a brand.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this cohesiveness. You said cohesiveness and aesthetic. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
Boy.
We're gonna pull up your Instagram right now. And for anybody who's tuning in on the YouTube stream, you're in for a treat.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But for anybody who's listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you're going to have to tune in. Or you could just follow Katelyn, but you're going to have to wait till the end of this episode to get her Instagram handle and support her work. Okay. Before I look at anything, I'm going to pull up like one photo and I am going to show it to the camera. Which
one did you pick?
Okay, you can't even see it on the camera. Anyways, so let's talk about cohesiveness. What does that even mean? Aesthetic, and is it like the grid? Is that what people call it?
Yes, the grid, the feed, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I feel like the best part of my feed is right there. See how like all the pictures match? All the blues are the same tone, all the greens are the same tone.
How do you edit that? So okay, look, because when it comes to like camera work and stuff like that, I have a trained eye for it.
Right.
So like I can like, it almost seems like this is low contrast. Where do you edit?
Lightroom.
Oh, okay. Do you have is there like a preset? I feel like a preset would help greatly to make it all look similar.
I do use a preset.
Yeah, you have to, because especially if you're going to the whole go into a similar aesthetic. I mean, you got to, right?
Yeah. It definitely helps, at least to make the colors match. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if you're going to have a lot of blue on your page, a lot of red, you want to be able to neutralize those just because there's so many different tones.
Uh-huh. So which one of these photos was the day that you got scammed by the scam artist?
Oh my God, it was
this one?
No. The one in the Eiffel Tower. That was moments after we got scammed.
Dude, you guys are so fake for smiling in this photo.
No, we were happy. We were happy that we were in Paris.
Dude, okay,
but then we were like, literally, like, right, it happened like steps away from where that picture was taken. We got scammed out of our money.
Dude, okay, but I know
that's. And then while we were like setting ourselves up for that shot, it's funny because while we were setting ourselves up for that shot, in the distance, like where those trees are, there was a cop, and someone was like telling the cop that they had also got scammed out of their money. So while we were also taking the shot, we were watching to see if the cop was going to catch the guy who scammed us.
Wow, what a fun outfit you have on. It's so flowy.
Thank you.
And yeah, but here's the thing. I'm just saying, if I got scammed out of 100 euros, I wouldn't be smiling like that.
I was smiling because I was with the love of my life in the city of love. Come on. And that's the story behind that picture.
And that storm of love is blinding you from the unfortunate events that happened moments ago.
Yes, but in a good way, because I was like, you know what? We lost money, but it's okay because I'm here. You're my best friend. We're going to have a great time despite that. So
I can imagine you doing that pep talk immediately after that happened to Devin.
No, I didn't. Yeah. I mean, he was pretty sad about it, and I was like, babe, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Whatever. We got through it. We'll be fine. That was my pep talk.
You know what this photo reminds me? So, what you guys remind me of is, do you have Disney Plus?
I do have Disney Plus.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm going to admit this, and after I admit this fact, I'm going to deny it after today. But this week I started watching High School Musical, the musical.
Oh my God. I haven't even watched
Oh
that.
my-
First of all, the title is High School Musical, the series. Like, what? Why
Dude.
is that the title?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a little backstory, and Disney Plus did not pay me to say this,
Okay.
but it's actually pretty interesting. So you know High School Musical,
course, yeah.
of course, yeah. See, look at that, freaking Gabriella and Troy right here.
Why, thank
So,
you. I appreciate
look at that,
that
look at that.
compliment.
Look, you're the music in him.
Oh, yes.
Na, na, na,
Na, na, na, na, yeah.
na. So High School Musical, the musical, it's about the high school that they filmed the movie in is
Okay.
actually a full functioning high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but a new music teacher came in, not Miss Darvis, because she was
Okay.
just like the movie music teacher. So a new musical teacher came in, and she was like, "How has there never been a musical of High School Musical at the high school where High School Musical was filmed?"
Wait. So this show is about the actual high school?
About the high school.
Okay.
And in their universe, it's like our universe. So it's like they know High School Musical
Oh, I see.
was
So
a
they're
movie.
like breaking the fourth wall a little bit.
Kind of breaking. Well, they were actually breaking free.
Okay. Nice.
They were,
Ba-dum-tsh.
they were soaring and flying.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay, so what was the process? That was such a big tangent there was no reason to go into that, but you should watch that show if you get the chance.
Okay, I'll get into it. I've heard that like the music is really good, and there are actually some pretty good singers from what I've heard.
Exactly. Oh wait, before I go back into that, which High School Musical was the best for you?
I think the third one. The third one was the best for me. That's the one that I cried the most.
Is that the one where they graduated?
Yes.
Oh no, that one was actually pretty
one was
good.
good.
Is that where they break into song like in Troy's backyard
Yes.
in the beginning because they had like a party, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
It was
one.
like a graduation party. Oh, I guess that one was kind of cool. I kind of. I mean, of course, everybody likes the first High School
Yeah.
Musical, but the second one was pretty cool.
You know the first one, Zac Efron doesn't even sing in it.
What?
It's Drew Seeley.
Whoa, that's a fun fact.
So he was not singing in the first movie.
Oh,
Fake.
oh yeah. Well,
Fake.
I actually really do like Zac Efron a lot because even after that, back to branding. Like, dude, everybody thought like, oh, this guy can't do full feature films after High School Musical. Everyone's gonna think of Troy
Right,
Bolton.
right.
Dude, when you see that dude in movies today, it's like you don't even think about High School
Dude,
Musical.
no, I totally forget that he sings. Like, he was on an episode of Ellen and he was singing, and I was like, Zac Efron sings? And I was like, oh, wait, he was in High School Musical.
Yeah, so he did a good job.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think there should be a fourth one?
High School Musical.
But the
There is
reunion.
supposed to be a fourth one.
But that trailer was fake.
No. There's supposed to be a fourth one based on the kids who took over the musical theater after they graduated.
Oh.
But I would take a reunion. Yeah. I know Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens are not on good terms, but
What?
I think I would take a fourth movie.
I like Vanessa Hudgens. She's cool.
Me too.
Yeah, she's like the queen of Coachella.
Yes. she
Bohemian
is. See?
style.
Exactly. I should have said Vanessa Hudgens when you asked me.
Oh yeah, dude, she's like
Bohemian Queen.
Bohemian queen.
Yes.
Yeah. So, these tangents are fun. I like it. Good thing that's the last tangent we're gonna have because So after your media kit with Charlotte Ruse, what's the process after like that? Because let's say I want to be an influencer, maybe not necessarily fashion. I mean, I would like to. What's a hot influencer branding item? I think the one influencer item that a lot of people knew about. So, because like you said earlier, like Revolve, they blew up hella fast when it came to influencer marketing. Before Revolve blew up fast like that, I thought Movement Watches was. Do you remember Movement Watch?
No, I don't.
So there was Movement Watch. There was also Skinny Tea.
Yes, I've heard of Skinny Tea.
Yeah.
I've heard of what's the other one? Those gummies. What are they called? The blue gummies. They're like bear gummies that are for like your skin and your hair and your nails. That was like the first thing that I saw influencers promoting.
Oh yeah, no, I think I remember those too. But what's the process after like so you send your media kit to a brand like Charlotte Ruse or Papaya or whatnot, and then Do you just wait for an email back and you're just like, okay, I'll do, like, is that all they do?
So what happens is you send your media kit. If this is a cold pitch, then you send your media kit and you kind of tell them like, hey, I want to work with you because I think that we'd make a great fit. And of course you want to like compliment them. It's kind of like applying for a job. You know, you want to say why you'd like to work for the company, what you like about the company, and how you think that you'd be a good fit. So same thing with cold pitching. Once you send your media kit, if they respond back, they'll usually be like, okay, well, here are terms and conditions, ones that you actually have to read. And they kind of talk to you about the process of becoming an influencer for them or working on a campaign for them. So sometimes they'll say like, oh, we have this campaign coming up for winter. This is what we want you to showcase. Are you able to do X, Y, and Z? And X, Y, and Z will be like an Instagram story post, an in-feed post, and then like a blog post. So on your media kit, you also list the kind of services that you provide. So you can say that you do Instagram marketing, you can say that you do YouTube videos, and you can say that you do blog posts. So you want to include all of that in your media kit so that when they send you their terms and conditions, they know what you can provide for them. So once they send you back that, it's a contract essentially. What I like to do is I like to send them my contract. So I'll tell them like, okay, well, this is what you can do with my content under these terms for, you know, for how long you can be using my content. And then from there, they can agree or they can disagree. If they agree, then what they do is they work out a deadline and a timeline for when all of these posts need to happen. It's a really long process that I think a lot of people don't know about, just working with a brand and going back and forth. So once, you know, they say, here are your deadlines, you create your content, and then before you can post anything, you have to send it back to them. And before any of this happens, you negotiate a price point, and that's where the engagement rate comes back in. And you say, well, here's my engagement rate. And what I like to say is before I even, you know, quote a price, I'll be like, what's your budget for this campaign? And then so they'll give me a budget, and if I feel like it's worth my time, then I'll accept. If not, I'll try to bargain with them and be like, well, this is, you know, what I'm providing for you. This is how much time it's going to take. Is there a way that we can negotiate? So then once you do that, you create your content, you send them your content, and then if they like it, then they approve it, and then they tell you a date to post it.
But do they send you clothes?
Yes, they do.
So you don't get to choose it? Oh, because it's for a campaign.
You can't. So you can choose it. What I found is that some companies will just send you clothes. They'll ask for your sizes and everything, and then they'll send you clothes. But then other companies will give you like a lookbook to pick from. So like if it's a campaign, they're like, here's our winter lookbook. Pick like 3 different styles that you'd like, and we'll send them to you. So then sometimes you get to pick, sometimes you don't. So I've had mixes and matches of both.
What do they tell you how to take the photos though? Because what? Okay, like say like whatever Victoria's Secret or whatever, which would be an awesome brand deal. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Sent me like clothing to wear and stuff. Like what's gonna stop me from just going to the studio right here and just taking photos? You know, like do you have to go out and take it in a cool spot?
That's a good question, because I've noticed that when working with brands, they don't tell you how or where or, you know, what they want the picture to look like. They kind of just say, here are the clothes, and, you know, do it in your creative direction, which I appreciate because, you know, I can do whatever I want with it. But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, I don't really know what you're going for here, so I have to be as creative as possible and make it as appealing to them as it would be to my audience. So that's the whole point of like taking the content and then sending it to them to see if they approve of it.
But okay, what about how do you pose? Where did you learn how to pose?
I don't know how to pose. That's the thing. Like, I don't. It's so I'm literally so awkward. Like I'm so awkward in front of it. I'm so awkward in front of a camera. That's okay. You know why? It's because my sister took that picture. So if I'm with someone that I'm like comfortable taking my picture, it's usually either my boyfriend, my sister, or my best friend that are taking my pictures. And so I'm comfortable in front of all of them. And they'll tell me like, oh, that looks really weird. Like, don't do that. Or like, don't slouch so much. And so I'll be like, okay, whatever. And so I'm more open to like moving my body in different directions and stuff like that. But if it's like with a photographer, I feel so awkward because I don't know what they want. And they seem so demanding to me that I get nervous and I tense up. So I really don't know how to pose. Like, to be honest, I've definitely watched YouTube videos that are like, here's how to pose in pictures. So I still don't know how.
Oh, what about the Facebook groups or communities that you're a part of? They don't teach you that?
No, they don't. They'll ask like, "Oh, what are some better ways that I can improve my poses?" And then people will always send them to like a YouTube video, and I'm like, "Okay, well, okay."
Wow, I'm surprised to hear that because they'll teach you about the whole ass media kit, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you won't teach me how to pose though. Like, that's what I need help with. But
yeah,
it's a learning curve, man.
I could probably do that. So you got one knee up.
Yes.
So you got one knee up on the chair. Is that? Oh, you're on a stair set.
Yes, and then you got to put like your arm like on your knee, and then like.
You took this at
That's at Santana Row.
Oh.
You know, right across the street from the counter.
Dude,
know what I'm talking
freaking
about by that bar?
Rosie McCann's. You took this at Rosie McCann's.
Yes, I did. Yes,
That
I did.
is.
That's the staircase right next to Rosie
Ew,
McCann's.
people throw up on that staircase.
Thanks.
So
Yeah.
so it's like Urban Outfitters and then Rosie McCann's, right?
Yes.
Oh.
And that's that staircase that's right there.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, I can see the aesthetic that you're going here, and I think over time, because
it changes.
Because it changes,
It definitely
right?
changes, especially like with seasons. Like in the winter, I'm not out in the sun taking pictures by the blue ocean. You know what I mean? So like in the winter, I'm usually outdoors or it's overcast. And so I can't really manipulate certain colors or certain lighting situations. So it changes with the seasons, at least for me.
I see. All right, let's close this up. Let's go back to MJ as a 13-year-old girl again. I'm such a big fan of this whole social media thing. I know it's a new thing a lot of people don't understand. I'm posting. In the past month, I've posted about 12 photos of me trying to be an influencer and whatnot. Like I said, I'm a high school freshman right now. A lot of my close friends are actually kind of making fun of me. You know what I mean? They're saying, "Oh my God, MJ here look at MJ, oh, Mr. Model with the hand codes." Oh, I hate that.
Influencer.
Dude, yeah. When I had Mark Yabyab on here, oh my God, we were just sharing our fiery passions.
It's funny you say that. I was listening to that podcast on the way over here.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I mean. So what would you say if if I find out that some of my friends are just being so negative and I'm I really like this the culture, the influencer culture, and what would you tell me?
I would say just go for it. I think that anything that you do, people are going to talk, and it's either going to be positive or negative. And if you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're enjoying what you're creating, and it's something that you want to go after, then do it. Because at the end of the day, those people aren't going to be the ones, paying you. They aren't going to be the ones, paying your bills or feeding you. So in the end, it's you and it's your creativity. And I think that it's important to go after what you want to do, despite what other people have to say about it.
Yeah, and I think also to add to that, they're not your friends, man.
They are not your friends, because if they were your friends, they would support you and they'd be like, "Look, I don't support, I don't think it's cool what you're doing, but I'm going to support you because that's what you want to do."
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but you know what? You're my friend, so let me take your pictures or let me do whatever for you.
Exactly. Or if you're a friend and you're not and you're talking negative stuff, at least give a reason why, dude.
Exactly.
Like, why don't you like this? Is it because my content or what I'm creating is not appealing to you? Or
give feedback.
Or are you just an insecure mother?
No, I think it's important. Yeah, definitely. And if you're not, the one actively helping to create posts or whatever, just like the picture, comment on the picture. You know what I mean? It helps influencers and any kind of creative on the internet when there's engagement on their posts. You know what I mean?
Yes. People don't understand how powerful social media is.
Yes.
Just dude, it takes less than half a second to double tap a picture. It helps so much.
Yeah.
Well, even me too. That applies to my kind of work. When people like or comment more on my post, it shows up on the explore page.
Exactly.
And a lot of the posts where I got more engagement, I got inquiries from.
Yes, exactly.
So overall, if you're not appealed to somebody's content or creations that they are posting online, but you still support them as a friend, please comment and like it.
Or share it or tell your friends.
That's a new one. Yeah.
Like post it on your story, just anything, any kind of engagement. Really, we appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah, we appreciate it because it actually makes a difference in our careers.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like that is the equivalent to a resume, a job application, and even even like a virtual interview, because even just showing the engagement on your social media posts, it shows that your content is producing results.
Exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of people, because I mean, like, look, you could have 1,000 photo shoots with professional photographers and it looks sick. Now that just shows that you're creative and you can produce like a beautiful picture or like create put together a nice outfit, but is it actually producing results? Because I think at the end of the day, like the marketing people at like Papaya or Charlotte Russe, they're gonna look at that and be like, well, we're gonna look at the numbers.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's also why people are kind of mad that Instagram removed likes, but that's another story.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They started rolling it out in America, like removing likes. If you haven't updated your Instagram app, you probably still have likes on there, but if you update it, there's no likes.
I want to update mine right now. Well, how do you feel about that?
I personally think it can help a lot of people. I don't feel like I would be negatively affected by it, because if a brand did want to look at that, obviously they're going to know that Instagram like remove likes, you know? So if they wanted to see my analytics, again, that's what a media kit is for. They can ask me for, you know, my statistics. But at the same time, I think it helps people who want to be a creative and who aren't necessarily like motivated enough to put their content out there because they're not getting enough likes. So if they put something out there, like a video that they produced or a picture that they took, and there's not a lot of feedback on it, they're going to feel like their content is not good enough, or that, you know, they're not validated in what they do. And so I think that if there's no likes, then it doesn't really matter. You know, they can put out whatever they want, and then they'll feel better about it because they did it for themselves and not for the approval of other people.
Oh yeah, because dude, like just the immediate satisfaction of getting that feedback.
Oh yeah.
I think we're all guilty. Dude, I'm guilty of it too. You know what I mean? Like freaking, like I'll post something on YouTube and like I'll like refresh it, like, oh cool, like somebody liked the video.
That's great. Same. I'm like, oh my god, this picture has been up for how many minutes and it's only gotten how many likes? Like that's so bad. It sounds so snotty, but it's like. That's what the brand is looking for, especially if it's like a brand photo. But
that's the kind of work we do, though, right? At the end of the day, I mean, of course, sometimes we're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting as much likes, because sure, we're like, how would you say it? I guess content content creators, I guess.
Right.
But at the same time, we're entertainers. I think that's what it means to us. We're entertainers. We're going. When you're posting content online, you're essentially going on a virtual stage.
Right.
And it's kind of like the likes is like, okay, well, I'm on stage and I'm performing. How many people are clapping for me?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And if it's not working out, then I gotta change my act.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Super important to have those.
So, final words just to kind of close this off. For anybody who wants to get into fashion, blogging, Instagram, however you want to do it, I'll leave it up to you.
Just do it. Go for it. Take those pictures. Feel confident. If you're out in public and you're trying to take pictures but you feel insecure, just do it. You're never going to see those people that are watching you ever again. So just take the nice pic, do it, and feel confident in yourself. Cool. Katelyn, thank you so much. I'm going to shake your hand awkwardly like we weren't hanging out before this. So. Oh, my God, I know. Hey, thanks MJ. For being here. All right. Thanks for having me. Hey, it's MJ Vallejo, host of the Creative Crucible podcast. Did you like that episode? If you did, I would appreciate it so much if you gave my podcast a 5-star rating. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, it would help me out so much. And I would love your feedback as well. So go ahead and put in the comments on what you liked and what you didn't like, and maybe who you think I should have as a next guest. I'll see you next time.